So if you have a look at these questions, you can see it kind of falls into three categories. How successfully did the Soviet Union do? How serious were the problems? Something about the causes and or the consequences. So those are the three things you should really prepare for when you come in to prepare for this section of your Cold War assessment. As far as the causes and the consequences and the similarities in those appear, well, I'll sum it up a little bit for you here. The similarity between the German, Hungarian and Czechoslovakian crises, number one, in terms of causes, that Stalinist leaders were removed in two of the three occasions. In the case of Ulbricht, he managed to survive and keep in place. The second similarity in causes for all except for the German crises is that new leaders were put in place that were more popular, kind of linked to the first one. In the case of Hungary, well, reforms were attempted, but they went too far with trying to leave the Warsaw Pact and free elections. In Czechoslovakia, freedoms were suggested, but not quite so far as in Hungary, and never to leave the Warsaw Pact. In Germany, it seems to be coming out as a little bit of a different thing altogether. Another cause is that Khrushchev in Hungary and Brezhnev with Czechoslovakia actually seemed to accept what was going on to begin with, and then when it became clear it might lead to further problems or things were going too far, then they sent the army in. In terms of consequences, every single thing, again in Hungary and Czechoslovakia, was a reversion to kind of how it had been before. Maybe with a few reforms. Kadar reformed a little bit. Czechoslovakia reformed a little bit after the Prague Spring, but mostly it went back to how it was. Both things were a propaganda. All three things were a propaganda blow to the USSR. I mean, the Berlin Wall, that wasn't really an anti-fascist protection barrier. We all knew that. Hungary had to be put down by force, and so did Czechoslovakia. All of these things probably led to more resentment under the surface with the citizens of Eastern Europe, and it became more obvious with each passing crisis that the whole of Eastern Europe was propped up by military force, in particular that of the Soviet Union. Now, you need to think very carefully about how you plan these answers, what your paragraphs are going to be about, and maybe have a look at some old examiners' reports on the OCR website, because they are there. The old unit, by the way, was F962, and you'll find the questions on there if you look hard enough, and they'll tell you exactly what sort of things you need to include. But rest assured, you need to know about the causes, the consequences, you need to decide how well the Soviet Union dealt with these things, and you need to think about how serious the threats were. All of the information you need are in these podcasts, but there are also, if you look on the website and click on the right page, videos and things so that you can get further knowledge on this, which might make or help to make you stand out above other people in the country. Hope that was useful. See you later.